Please give me a minute. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Success Within International Breakfast Meeting. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay. So I'll just be taking you through who we are at SW. Yeah. So at SWI, we're a faith based organization with the principal aim of igniting the success power within people with emphasis on the youth. So breaking this down from the first session of the breakfast meeting, which was prayers, everything we do is faith based. It's faith backed. Whatever teaching we're giving you, we teach you God's way of success, right? And our goal is to ignite the success power within you, that power that helps you to excel and to succeed in everything that you do. And if you look around the room, most people here are youths. So yes, our target audience are the youths. Moving on to our vision is to raise people of outstanding success for global relevance. We understand that, I mean, we're in a global time where you can achieve great things even from where you are, right? So, what is our goal? We want you to be relevant and successful on a global landscape, not limiting yourself to where you are located. Our core values are, I mean, we have the acronym SPEED, which starts with spirituality, which, I mean, just like I mentioned earlier, we're a faith-based organization. Synergy, I'm sure you've seen how everybody has been, has had fun, has enjoyed themselves. We've gisted, we've, bantered, we've done all of that. So synergy is one thing that we are about. Passion, we're very passionate about what we do. We're not just doing this to fulfill our righteousness or to have something to do on the side. We're doing this because we really care. We're passionate about what we do. We want to see you fly. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you excel in everything you do. Then we have exemplary lifestyle. We do not just teach, we walk the talk, we do what we teach you, right? I'm sure, I mean, once our speaker comes to speak, you'd see that she's a professional marketing person. She has an excellent personal brand. So we live the life that we teach. Then excellence is another thing we're about. We ensure we do everything with the utmost excellence. Discipline, we're very disciplined. That's why you see that we have our monthly breakfast meeting. I mean, we'll have it every single month. We apply this to everything we do, both at work, with our spiritual life, with SWI, with everything. We're very disciplined. Diligence is another thing that we are intentional about. We're diligent about everything that we do. Now, what is our mission? Our mission, we want to help you nurture youth for creativity and excellence. We want to bring that creative part of you. We want to help you apply excellence in everything you do. We are teaching youth God's way of success. I mean, there's a world's way of success and then there's God's way of success. We're teaching youth how to be successful the God way. We want to help youth discover their talent and purpose. We understand that, at the point of growing, you have so many things that you can do. You have your talent, you have your purpose, but I mean, sometimes we're not able to, walk in it. We're not even aware of the amazing things that we're able to do. So our goal is to bring that out and help you to, live in it. We also want to raise an army of people who will take over the economy positively. We have accountants in the house, we have, agriculturalists in the house, we have economists in the house, we have marketers in the house. We have so many different skill sets in the house, and we want you to be at the top of your industry. We want you to be a voice to reckon with. And that's why we're also teaching you personal branding today so that you know how to put yourself together, build a brand for yourself so that you'd be a strong voice to reckon with. I want to also help people ignite their potentials. Our goal here is to help you ignite your potential and be all that God has called you to be. All right, so getting straight into the session, I'm going to be inviting our speaker, the one and only marketing professional. She works at Google. She's done marketing for years. So she has the brand side of things, and then she also has a personal story to it. She is one of the people who helped me start my career in marketing, and it's something I'm always grateful for. So we have Mrs. Fumito Osho in the house. Please let's just give her a warm welcome in the chat box. Woo!
Hi
Hi,
everyone.
Fumito. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And it was so heartwarming to hear you say that. I think we just talked about it. I didn't do anything, but I'm super grateful to be on this platform. Thank you. Sue is family, so it doesn't even feel strange to be here. But thank you so much for the warm welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sweet Breakfast meeting again. And today, definitely, we'll be talking about personal branding. Personal branding is such a topic that is so dear to my heart. And I thought, what better way to even share, what better avenue to share, what better team to share it with than, the very dear sweet team. I'd been trying to share my screen. So, okay, so I have access now. Um, you just let me know when you can see the screen. Yep. Can you see it?
Not yet. I guess it's coming up. Okay, it's coming up now.
Okay. So what can you see?
Personal brand, building a personal brand.
Okay, that's all.
I can see the other bits of the slides.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I just wanted to be sure. Maybe I'll share again. Um, okay. What about now? Do you see this? Do you see my
Yes,
slide?
I can see you're on presentation mode now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so personal brand. The topic today is building a personal brand. And I'll just go quickly to about myself. My name is Fumito Osho. It used to be Fumito Makanju for some people that know. And I got married and the name changed to Fumito Osho. I'm a Christian, first and foremost. I love the Lord, sold out to his will. My ultimate goal is to do his bidding and to pursue his passion every day of my life. So if you see, I boldened a few things and some things are gray. And I would typically refer to myself as the marketing professional. And I've done this for years and it has come to stay. And this is what the crust of market of personal branding is about, right? It's something that you've formed to be a part and parcel of yourself, and everyone begins to identify you as that. On the other side, I've written that I'm an ideapreneur. And what I mean by that is I can make money from any idea. I literally make money from any idea. That is how much I love to explore different options. I love to explore different opportunities. I love to just find an avenue to create wealth for myself, for the people around me, whatever you would have that be. So I'm an ideapreneur. On the other hand, I started creating content. It's not the easiest, but it's such an exciting journey. And I haven't published yet. So just watch out. There is a book coming up. I'm an author, and I'm also a digital storyteller and a public speaker. I currently work with Google EMEA HQ as a growth manager, and I'm based in Dublin, Ireland. I started something that I'm very passionate about, which is called The Marketing Professional. And if you're kind enough, please follow at The Marketing Professional on Instagram. And you can also follow my personal page, which you'll see at the end of the presentation. Are we still here? Some thumbs up, some yay, some nays. It would be good to know if I still have everybody with me. Perfect. Thank you very much. Good. So let's move on to what I do. I've said a few of it in the other slide, but I'm a sales and marketing professional. I'm a personal brand strategist. I'm a brand consultant, so I help startups, I help other brands consult with their business to understand what's working, what's not, and how can we shape the narrative for curator, engagement booster. I started something in Dublin where I now produce podcasts. I don't have one myself yet, but I produce podcasts for people that have a topic, have want an audience, and just want to record and get that edited and published on the different platforms. And as I said earlier, I'm an author. It seems like a lot of stuff, but this is what I do. This is how I enjoy living my life, and this is how I've been able to drive value for myself. Now, let's debunk something. Personal branding is such a huge topic, but it's also something that I've heard or I keep hearing every time. Now there's a real buzz about like personal branding, building a personal brand, shaping the narrative. But I want to hear from you. I know during the week, SWE put out something about propaganda we are not falling for around personal branding. But I want to hear from you. What are some things that you've heard about personal branding that one, you're not sure of, two, it just seems a bit too, I don't know what word, like bogus, or just seems far reaching? What are some things that you've heard about building your personal brand that doesn't seem quite clear and you would love us to address today? The session, we've heard so many things about personal branding. It's not new, definitely, but I want to understand that, like, what is one thing that you would love to take away from today's session as it helps you build the kind of personal brand that you want to build for yourself? So I'll be waiting and looking at the comment section, and I'll just be happy if admin could also help me look through. So anything about personal branding that you would love to debunk, or that you've heard that you're not quite sure of, or maybe you have a question as to how can I build this? Let me know in the comments. And if there are no questions, then we'll just go. Or if there are no ideas that you're trying to debunk, then I know that everyone is okay with your personal brand. And I can tell the admin that we are good for today and we can actually end the session. So let me know. And admin, if you also have something to say, you can say. Don't feel like you're only doing admin work. Or you can also just put it in the chat box as we go by, and I will be sure to look at it. So I'll wait 2 minutes, and we can continue. I have time today, so don't worry. Even if the room is quiet, I'm okay with silence. So let's drop some things in the chat box, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, so someone messaged me privately and said, I don't have anything to build a personal brand around. Where do I start from? So that's one person's take. If you have the same idea, you can do a thumbs up to this. If not, I'll still be waiting for that message and we can just quickly go by. Okay, so I saw this online and it says, you are too poor to be an introvert. Better put yourself out there. I don't know what your broke self is acting mysterious for. And I laughed so much because, to be fair, this is what it is. Personal branding is you putting yourself out there, you shaping the narrative about yourself. And for people that feel like, oh, but I don't want to put myself out there, if you begin to put yourself out there a lot more, you'll see how much more, not just money in terms of physical cash, but your value capital grows a lot by just putting yourself out there, shaping a narrative, being a thought leader about something, and just being the go-to person for certain topic areas. So being quiet online isn't humility. Some people are like, yeah, you know what, I'm doing so much, I don't want to brag about it. No, it's you being invisible. Because if you had 10 people that sought your service, if you put yourself out there, you can multiply that to be 100, to be 500, to be 1,000, and the multiplier effect kicks in. So you being quiet does not, it's not you being humble, it's not you being, or you just trying to play small. It is really you being invisible. You lose 100% of the chances that you do not take by being invisible online. Now, what is a personal brand? A personal brand is the story people tell about you when you are not in the room. And I want us to start thinking about this. Everybody goes quiet when it comes to personal brand because it feels like you're talking to them personally. Like, what is your personal brand? If I call Samira today and I say, if the name rings, what do I remember and say, I know you for? Of course, you know what I call you Shamira Billions, but I also like, I'll say the cake lady. Like, you make cakes, you're a very good baker. That is something that I can tie to Samira's personal brand. Now, that is a personal brand that she had formed. But can personal brand evolve? Yes. The thing with personal brand is you are in the driver's seat, so you can chart the course of where you want your personal brand to go. It is the story people tell about you when you are not in the room. But how did these people hear this story? So sometimes you hear some people and then they say, oh, this person, oh, she's not nice, or they are a bit stuck up, or they are standoffish, or they have a sitting something face, because we don't swear on this platform, right? That is because their personal brand has been tied to that kind of thing. Unconsciously, you formed a narrative about yourself that people are now selling and spreading about you. So, guess what? Your personal brand precedes you even before you get into a room. So, people have formed a narrative about you before you get the opportunity to start debunking or shaping the narrative for yourself. So, someone talks about Olamide. Maybe I've seen Olamide show up in certain ways, and she's not necessarily shaped her personal brand in the way that deems fit. Then that news keeps going for, and as you know, false news spreads like wildfire, right? So, one, what are the things to look out for when you're building a personal brand? And we'll look at a few things, but it's one, your values. You need to write down. If you journal, this would be a good thing to do. One, what are my values? What are the things that I stand for? What is my reputation about town, at work, at church, in business, within my group of friends? When they talk about me, what are those values that will say, oh no, if you're talking about this, count for me to out or count for me to in? And what are my strengths? If you look at what are the things that I enjoy doing, what are the things that I'm passionate about, what are the things that drive me to action, what are the things that I can spend time doing, and just derive joy and excitement from just giving my time and energy to. So it's a mix of skill, personality, and presence. Your skill is the things that your strength lies in, right? Your personality and the presence. Like, I carry weight. I don't know how to explain that to you. Like, when I enter a room, and it's something that people have told me many times, and it was honestly very unconscious. I built myself to be a very confident person. So regardless of if I'm really sure or I'm not sure of what is happening in that room, I hold my head up high, and that way it is built a personal brand of confidence. I'm a public speaker, so regardless, I get into a room, I don't care if there are 1,000 or 1,000,000 people in the room. The goal is the goal: deliver excellently and leave a lasting impression, right? So this is how or what a personal brand is. It's the story that people tell about you, but you've given them a narrative to tell about you. Now, why is it important to build a personal brand? Why is it important to build a personal brand? Some people are like, yeah, you know what? I'm making money, I'm successful, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm good. As they say, I'm Gucci. Like, I don't have to stress, I don't have to form any narrative about myself. But why is it important to build a personal brand? In a world where there are so many excellent people, so many people doing amazing things, so many people, fighting for that limelight and that 1% of 1% spot, you need to stand out in a crowded market. What is one thing that you have that someone else does not have that you can capitalize around? I would use my own scenario. I currently work at Google. And if you know, if there's anything that I believe 99.9% of people that work at Google have, is the imposter syndrome. Because we all believe that for you to have gotten a shot at this company, you're definitely very smart. You're definitely doing amazing thing. You're definitely, on top of your A game. So everybody has that imposter syndrome of, am I good enough? Should I be here? Should I not be here? But guess what? I realized that at Google, you hear people talk about in my opinion, the lamest thing. Like, I don't know, someone did something, and the next thing you see an email going out about like what they did, how good it was, what it made them feel. I'm like, you just did your job, rest. But they are building a personal brand. Guess what? If it's about, for example, I'll use something like maybe iOS. I talk a lot about like operating systems, iOS and Android. And let's say someone has a client that is really invested in the iOS market, right? And they are publishing applications, they're, really growing on iOS. We know that iOS is a very, um, it's a very, I don't know, concealed market in the sense of with all of the privacy thresholds that Apple is bringing into it. So there is ATT prompt and all of that. So nobody really understands how to measure success on iOS, right? There's someone there in my team that probably understands it a lot better. And with every little thing they do with their clients, they're sending an email. It's really annoying to me because I'm like, okay, just do your work and keep it moving. But guess what? The next time I hit a roadblock with iOS, with anybody, guess what I'm going to? That person. They built a personal brand of knowledge, of savvy, of being savvy around this topic. And so for you, what you see online and you roll your eyes around and start feeling like, yeah, this person talks too much, or this person does too much, or this person is sharing too much, they are forming an impression in your mind about their personal brand. And when push comes to shove, you would go to meet these people around it. So this is what it is. You're standing out by creating and shaping an avenue for yourself in the crowded market. You're building trust and credibility. The more you talk about something, the more people get to listen to you, and the more you become credible about certain topics. Because what people learn to test the waters, you start talking, they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. The next time you say it, they start trying to verify some things. Once they realize that over time, they've verified the kind of information that you've shared, and it actually checks out to be true, they start trusting you a lot more, and you've built credibility around this topic. The third thing would be the third thing would be create new opportunities. You're creating new opportunities for yourself. You're getting more attractive to job, to recruiters, to clients, because of course what I do, brand building, like I have a few people. I worked with a company, I think 2 years ago. For people that know me, this is not cybersock now. It was like just a remote role that I did while I was still at Google. And after 6 months, I realized that, you know what, my priorities are changing, and I turned in the towel there. I think it was 2 weeks ago or last week. The CEO then sent me a message. Oh, Fumito, I would like to have a conversation with you. I'm building a new application, and I'm interviewing a lot of marketing professionals, but I would really like to hear your opinion. Initially I'm like, should I charge for this? But then again, I'm like, why? They consider you valuable. You also need to know when to charge and when to do things for free. You don't want to delay gratification, is how I say. You don't want to already collect peanuts for something that you can collect a, sh- a lot of money for. We can talk about that in a different conversation. But then I didn't charge him, and that call of, can I quickly just run something by you, ended up to be over an hour call. But then I shared value. What have I done? One, while I worked with these people, they had realized that I understand what I'm talking about. I understand what I do, and I've shaped a personal brand of actually being a marketing professional. Now, totally unrelated, he's building something 2 years after. He still thought to come and meet me to share his opinion and get my own thoughts about it. What have I done? unconsciously I'm creating new opportunities for myself, because the more I consult with these businesses and really understand what happens in the business landscape, I'm beginning to become more of that consultant that I really want to be, because now I know many use cases, many business models, many um um business objectives, and then I know how to shift the narrative. So yes, one, you're standing out in a crowded market. Two, you're building trust and credibility for yourself. And three, you're creating new opportunities, whether it's jobs, clients, and partnerships. Just checking and room, just doing a sense check again in the room. Is everyone here? Everyone here? Yes, yes, perfect. Thank you. So I see a thumbs up, and I lost track of the chat box, but I'll go in real quick before we go into the next slide. So someone says, two, I would say the part of consistency, showing up always, also being original on social media, but yet hearing don't believe everything you see on social media. Okay. And the second person says, actually, we have quite a few. Okay, so the second person says, I've heard how, um, I've heard how that is what you allow come to people's mind when you come to mind. Now, how do you effectively decide what you allow come to people's mind when you come to their mind? Okay. Um, then okay, so this is just questions. Perfect. So let me quickly take this two before we move on, because I want it to be as practical as possible for everyone. Now, the showing up always. How do you build to I think the easiest thing about consistency, showing up always, is building structure. Once you have structure, it's easy to be consistent, right? So I think I had a slide. I don't know if I took it out now, of how I do. I actually took it out and I wish I didn't. I had a slide about what my flow around creativity is, right? Um, I have a plan. I know what I want to talk about. I know how long I want to talk about it. I know what channel I want to share it on. I know who my target audience is, and then I push out content around it, right? So how do you show up online always? Create a system around what you want to do. If you know that my week gets busy and I don't have time to always edit or do whatever I want to do during the week, create them during the weekend and schedule those posts to just go out at certain times during the week. That's the easiest way to be consistent. Or tell yourself, what can my schedule manage? If I can only do once a week, ensure you show up once every week with that thing. If you can do 2 times a week, ensure you show up 2 times a week with that thing. If you take a break, understand that you're taking a break. But it's always good to, once you start, grow the muscle to be consistent. And as we say, like, if you do something continuously for 30 days, I think they say it becomes a habit or something. But if you create structure around that thing early on, it then becomes part and parcel of you, and then you know how to create. Every creator that I've watched when I wanted to start, creating content, spoke about batch creating, understanding certain topics you want to create around. And I did it, and I realized that actually it helps. If I do my makeup once and I have a certain lineup of outfits and topics, I do everything and I put out that content. So that's one part that I would say could help you remain consistent. And being original on social media, but yet you hear that you shouldn't believe everything you see on social media. I think it's a two-way street, right? Decide. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear this honk, but I'm really sorry. If you can, decide, and I could use my headphones. Can we all hear the noise that I was just hearing? If you can, let me know. Just thumbs up, and I'll use my headphones.
We did for a minute, but I think it's fine now.
Okay. Okay, Olamide, please just let me know if it's disturbing. Let me know. I'll use my headphones.
All right,
Okay.
no worries.
So I think the thing is, you need to decide how you want to use social media and what is the essence of social media for you. When you hear about social media being a facade, it's actually true. Like, some people put their entire life on social media. That's what works for them. They put everything online, but I would have you say, like, even those things that they put online, the reason why they say social media, don't believe everything you see on social media, is because I'm responsible for what I put out. I'm not responsible for what you understand. And unconsciously, I put out something, people interpret things differently in their minds. So, for example, you see me here now with this light, and you're like, oh, she has a good home office. My people, that's the narrative you've shared about me in your mind. This is indeed not my office. It's not my space. I'm in someone else's office, right? But I mean, yeah, I can say it's mine, but like technically, I don't work from here every day. Do you get what I mean? So you would see this online and just be like, oh, she has a good space. She's invested so much in her personal brand and the way she shows up, which to be fair, I have. But in this instance, no, because I just asked if I could use someone's space and they said yes, right? So social media is really, don't believe everything you see on social media, because the way you've interpreted that thing that that person shared might be different, and that's why you shouldn't believe it. But you as a person, you have the responsibility to put out what you want people to believe about you. Like, so you just put out what you want. Like, you can control what you do, you cannot control what others believe. So just as authentic as possible, put out your own thing and guide people as much as possible to understand or shape the narrative. But that's about what you can do. The second thing is, how do I effectively decide what you allow come to mind? People, it's actually ties back to the first one. It's still consistency. If I we would play a game now. If I mention to you um, a Benz, what comes to mind? Just type in the chat box. If I say Benz, what comes to mind? Isaac, car, okay. Benz, 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 Benz. I need the chat box, please. Perfect. Luxury, luxury, luxury. Amazing. Yes. If I say Indomie, what comes to mind? Small children. Okay. Fast food. Perfect. I'm just waiting for one more. Childhood. Perfect. So you see that reality and perception are two different things. Your personal brand is largely about perception, and you are shaping that perception. So what it means is, when I wouldn't say the people that created Benz, they probably did not have luxury in their mind. But I don't know, Isaac is more of a car fanatic. But maybe there was something else that they were trying to push. Yes, luxury would be one. Or if I talk about iPhone, for example, you already know the narrative around like iPhone versus Android. Luxury could have been, it could be, oh, sleek, being sleek, it could be maybe smooth driving, it could be whatever. But every time you see a Benz, whether or not it's an old model or a new model, if someone says I drive a Benz, you don't even know if it's a 1999 model or something. You just like, oh, that's luxury. You just already typically believe that, it's a sleek car and they're luxurious, right? That is the same thing about your personal brand. But Benz did not get this at once. It was consistently shaping out certain types of cars. So the kind of cars they always churned out, the way it looked, the way it drove, everything that they put in the car kept on shaping that narrative of you saying it's luxurious. Same thing with Indomie. This everything they one time they did the Indomitables, all those times they put those gifts in the cartons, oh, that it's quick food, it's this. Every time, like, you would not want to go to a restaurant now and say, oh, I want Indomie. No, because that's not the perception that you have about Indomie. The perception that you have about Indomie is quick whip in my house, quick things to give my child. It's for children. It's a quick meal. It's a fast microwave generator. Like, it's all of that, right? So your personal brand is hinged largely on perception, but you need to do something consistently over time for people to start tying your personal brand to that particular thing. Do we understand? Is it clear? I hope I did justice to that. So moving on, and this is where you now start asking yourself some questions. Who am I? And I know that like it's a lot of like building a personal brand is a lot of interest, like you do a lot of introspective work. I believe that's the English, I don't know. You do a lot of work internally, asking yourself, really, really, who am I? Like when I tap myself, I'm like, oh, I sleep or I wake up, or someone says, who are you? If you don't already know who you are, you can ask yourself, who do I want to be? Someone told me something years back, and I think that really shaped a lot of things for me. Someone said, to live life, to live life, start by attending your own funeral. And I thought that was so deep. And I would explain, start by attending your funeral, because at your funeral, that is where people typically share a lot of things about you. Oh, this person was this person was that, this person did this, and this person did that. Of course, we know that they say don't speak ill of the dead, but you always know when it's true and when it's not true, right? So start by attending your funeral, in the sense of already go towards the end. Know the kind of story that you want people to say about your life, and then start building the blocks backward, right? So someone is unmuted and is distracting me. Uh, Admin, if you could help with that, that would be helpful. I think Abimbola Kerele is muted and it's just distracting me. Um, okay, so let's move on. So yeah, live life by attending your own funeral, in the sense of like, you know what you want people to say about you. I want to be known as an amazing business person. I want to be known as a kind person. I want to be known as a thought leader around this topic. I want to be known as a very confident public speaker. I want to be known as, a perfect networking professional. Whatever it is, know, if you don't know who you are, know what you want to be known for and start building it. What do I stand for? It's a very good question. Like, what do I stand for? Do I stand for, like, if people look at me, do they say, no, she's a very upright person, she's no, she's a laissez-faire, she's a people pleaser, she's this? What do you stand for? And what do you want to be known for, as I had explained earlier? So these are some critical questions when you want to start shaping a personal brand about yourself, that you need to really ask yourself. Now, personal branding, this noise is a bit annoying to me, sorry. um so personal brand, um can you still hear me? Yes, thumbs up please. Thumbs up please. Perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So personal branding core pillars, and I've spoken about this a lot, right? And that's why I really wanted specific questions about what we're struggling with, so I could address them. What are some core pillars around personal branding, right? Is one, identify your strengths and your niche. So my strengths are the things that, honestly, like I do, and I do easily, and I enjoy doing, and like I have no stress or no challenge doing any of these things, right? Identify your strength and your niche. So the niche being, these are all my strengths, but which one do I want to hone in on? Which one do I want to like go into and say, you know what, this is one that I can grow and build and create a structure or a process around. Then create your own story. We always talk about it being like the elevator pitch, right? But craft your own story. And that's where I spoke about like the narrative that you want to share. We already spoke about like how the Mercedes like created a story around their cars being luxurious and all of that, right? And how all of the other brands, when you hear them, there's the reality, but there's also the perception that you have about them, so craft that story. Start by writing, what do I want people to say about me when they hear about me? Once you know that, then you say, okay, how can I get here? One, I need to, we will see it in the next slides. Oh, and here, anyways, align my online and my offline presence. So I want people to know this about me. This is a story I want to tell about myself, about my life, right? How do I create that? You need to create a consistency around aligning your online and your offline presence. So for example, if I show up online properly dressed, nice hair, nice wig, nice makeup, everything, and then you see me the next day on this on the road or at the supermarket, I'm not saying that I probably will be as glam as possible, but I should look very presentable and decent. Not that you see me in flip-flops, bathroom slippers, maybe looking very tattered. My hair is maybe 3 months old. The online presence and the offline presence do not match. And that is where you start seeing, oh, online is fake. People are not showing up their true self. Yeah, because some people are like that, and that's why people be like, I saw this person physically, and it doesn't match what they're saying online. Could they be making money online like that? Yes, it works for them. But to build a lasting personal brand, you want to align your online and your offline presence. So what you see online, the way you walk, the way you talk, in quote, online, should also match the way you talk and the way you show up offline, right? And share your values consistently through content networking, through content, through networking event, through things that you post, things that you talk about, all of that. But you need to share your value consistently. Moving on very quickly, personal branding tips, right? And I'll leave some extra time for questions or personal questions that you have. What are some tips that have helped me build the personal brand that I have today? One, create content that you like first. I wrote create content here because we're in the era of content, but I will say pick something that you're most interested about first. I love marketing. I studied building and building technology, and I worked with this building technology for I think a year or maybe a little over a year. After service year, I think a year. And then there were some complications with my health, and I needed to move into something that I enjoyed doing the most. And I think I had this exercise for myself about what am I, what do I want to be known for, and all of that. And at the time, even if I could not really answer all of those questions, one part that stood out to me was I love to talk. It comes easy to me. I'm such a natural. I would hold a conversation for days because I just love it. But more than that, it was more like holding meaningful conversation, being able to like chat to the crowd, be friendly, be nice. And I thought, oh, but like, how could you, like, I wasn't going to be a newscaster, but like, how can I use my voice to influence things? And I had a very strong personality as well. So then I started thinking about like, oh, like marketing, right? Even at that time, I didn't even know it was marketing, but my boss was like, you're doing a lot of marketing, because if I saw something that wasn't right, best believe you change it, because I'll give you the reason, I'll talk through it, I would explain why it needed to be changed. Like I had my receipts, and that way I had a very strong personality at work. My opinions mattered, and then it was all opinions around like logos, look, feel, websites. That was really how I got into it, right? So create content around what you know comes naturally to you first, what you like, what you enjoy. And then once you understand that and you start talking more about what you like, what you enjoy, it's like people begin to notice. People actually notice. So once you start talking about something, you're like, oh God, ask that person for their opinion, or ask this person for their opinion. Look at T-Max, it's a games master. Like if I want to run, if I were here and I wanted to do any game or anything, I would seek Thomas's opinion, because he shaped the narrative about himself, about being a games master, and not just shaping the narrative. He has receipts. We all enjoy the games that he churns out, and this is how he's been able to do something he enjoys first. Well, I don't know, Thomas, do you enjoy it? But something he enjoys first, and then he's created a brand around it. Two, control your digital footprint. Control your digital footprint. There are times when on some platforms they've put something about me online, like maybe not, let me not use my own example. There was a day I was hosting this prayer for a certain group that I admin for back in Ireland, and I was the admin on that call that day. So the lady, I think she didn't know that she was taking prayers on that day, and she had lost track of time. So she joined the prayer. She didn't look quite good. It was a group of just women anyways. She did the prayers, but I always streamed these prayers on YouTube and with her name and everything. I think that day she even put in the wrong name intentionally. Me, I went there, I corrected the name. I'm like, no, this is your name. And I put it, and we streamed on YouTube and all that. Excuse me. And then after she came to me, she was like, Fumito, can you put down that post? And at first I'm like, why? Do you don't want people to know that you're praying online? But apparently it wasn't consistent with the way she had shown up. And it's not because she was trying to be fake. It's just that she wasn't prepared for that engagement, but she was thrown into it. And naturally, that's not how she wants to show up to anything that has her name on it online. Did I put down that post? Yes, I did. Were we missing a day of those prayers? Yes. But unfortunately, she has a right to control her digital footprint. Because guess what? Once you type Fumito Makaju or Fumito Osho online on Google, and this is an assignment for everybody today. You go on Google and type your name and your surname, and let's see what pops up. Let's see what you see. If you start seeing a lot around a certain thing that you are happy about, that's good. If you want to change the narrative, then you need to start putting out other things that push the narrative you want to see other than what you're seeing. So control your digital footprint. Know what you want to see, what you don't want to see, and then start. If you know that I want to be a thought leader, there's no reason why on LinkedIn you're not dropping articles, you're not commenting on people that are doing the kind of thing that you want to do on their posts, right? Writing comments, reposting those kind of things, you doing your own bit. You need to control the digital footprint. Be intentional with your message. I think I've shared a lot about this. And the last one will be tell your story before others do. It's the same thing that I said at the beginning. The truth is, the perception and it's part of the question that was asked, like, how do I shape what people want to know about me, right? If you don't give them enough to talk about, they will fill in the gaps for you. If you don't give them enough, like if you're not in their face enough about a certain thing, they would make assumptions for you. And that's the way that they are telling the story on your behalf, right? So you have the responsibility to tell the story before they do. Some people come online and be like, hi, you've not met me, I have many followers here, or what's that thing people do? Let me talk about myself. Before you start saying, or some people would come and just share something about themselves before people start saying what, and guess what? Once other people say it before you, it almost seems more viable than what you've even said about yourself. So say it first, say it consistently, and be there to shape that narrative about it. In conclusion, embrace growth. Embrace growth. And I say embrace growth. And the image I've put here is really personal branding journey is not a there's a typographical error on the slide and I can't get my mind off it. But the personal branding journey is not I'm going to do it for a few years and I've shaped the narrative and I can just sit back. Your narrative is always evolving, it's always changing. You need to understand that, like, it's not I've done it now and I can relax. With every step you take, you need to keep shaping it. And that's why I say it goes upward, but it's a continuous journey, that you have to keep doing. So embrace growth. I think is your marketing sister says for the love of growth. So embrace growth in a sense of, I want to grow. I want to be known for something more. I want to be identified for something better. I want to shape something more for myself. Because I want to do this and I want to embrace this growth, I've chosen to do X, Y, Z. And then you know that it's not a one-time thing. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep showing up and you have to keep facing the kind of results that you want to see. With that, I've come to the end. I'm happy to take questions now, but please, if you'd like to chat a lot more about what I've spoken about today, or you want us to work together around shaping your own personal brand, creating building blocks around your personal brand, we can connect at fumito@themarketingprofessional.com or on Instagram at themarketingprofessional_ or FMAK_. And that is my number. So you can also send me a WhatsApp message and I'll be happy to engage. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was so amazing. Thank you so, so much, Fumito. I think that was very good. One of the things that I picked out was, you said something last, say it first and say it consistently. I think consistency is one of the most important things in personal branding. It's not okay to do it once and then move on. The same way Indomie would not do an ad in 1990 and leave it to run for 100 years. That's the same way even we as individuals should take our personal brand seriously. So I think consistency is one of the most important things here. So please, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat box or just raise your hands and then we'll take your question. So I have one question. Do I have to be a content creator to build my personal brand? So I think that's something that must have been on a lot of people's minds. That's one. Do you want to take it first, or I should ask together? I have to.
I can answer them
Okay.
differently.
Okay.
So I actually, as you spoke, I Googled something and I'm just gonna read out what it says. I actually Googled what is content, who is a content creator? So a content creator is an individual that produces content meant to entertain, inform, educate, and engage a specific audience. The content can be in form of a video, a blog post, a podcast, an image, or more. Distributed on social media and platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, blogs, or any other platform. My darlings, if you want to build a personal brand, unfortunately, you need to be a content creator. Now, it's what kind of content creator? It doesn't have to be funny videos or skits or anything. It doesn't even have to be videos. As I said, it could be a podcast, it could be images, it could be text, it could be blogs, right? I think what the cross here, every time we say content creator, it's like the lights, cameras, not necessarily. The key word there is content. And to build a personal brand, you need to have content. What do they say about empty vessels make the loudest noise? If you don't have content, if you don't have something to give, then like nobody has anything to hear about you. So the key word there is not only about like being the creator, it's about having content. And then you would decide how you want to share that content and what medium you want to share the content by. So I think that's it.
Okay, I think you just, did something there. If you to be a content creator, you need to first have content, and I think that's very solid because in recent I was having a conversation with someone who said, Olamide, you need to the person actually told me, Olamide, you need to take your personal brand serious because there are a lot of
Mhm.
people who don't do half what you do, but then they are out there and they're the ones getting the paycheck.
Yeah.
So, which also brings me to my next, would I say a question? So, it's more around what is the role of PR in building your personal brand? For us marketeers, would see a lot of brand comms posting, oh, this person is now this role, this person achieved this, or this brand achieved this under the leadership of this person. I don't know about other industries and what PR is for them, but for marketeers, we have all of that. So, what if I decide to focus on, what if I'm not a social media person? I'm just present there. And I decide to focus on building my own ground personal brand and let PR do the online for me. Do you think that's sustainable in the digital age?
Yes and no. As we said again, PR, they are doing it for you, but do you want to control that narrative for yourself? So they're doing it, they're saying what they want to say, and it's two ways. Some people would say the network that I have is sufficient enough for me, right? I don't necessarily need I have 5, 10 people here, and this human capital is enough to take me to where I want to go or where I want to do. Can it be multiplied? Yes, but you understand what you need per time and you feed into that, right? I don't need, like, the PR can do whatever they want to do for me online. I'm just building on ground and I'm doing that. If that's what you want and it's putting the money in your pocket, it's okay. The thing is, those people around you, they understand your value, and that's what's the most important. You don't need a million people to understand your value if that's not your target audience. So I think part of the definition is, who is my target audience and what is the value that I present? Who is it for? Who can it be beneficial to? If it can only be beneficial to these select people, it's okay, bless you. It's okay, right? I don't need to push it to a million people. But if I know that, you know what, this thing that I'm doing, I want to take it more to other people, then you need to do accordingly. So I think it's understanding, like, the PR can do the work. You need to guide it to ensure that what they're actually doing is aligned to what you want to be pushed across there. And if you don't need that attention, you don't need to get the attention, right? So just know what you want. But I think the as we said, the most important thing is that the value that you carry is identified by your target audience, and they can resonate with it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I think that was the perfect answer. All right. So, do we have anyone in the house who wants to ask a question? I know someone's hand was raised during the session. I think Korede. Yeah. If you have a question, now is the perfect time to ask. Otherwise, we have the marketing professional. Her handle is at the marketing professional on Instagram. Okay, Samsung, that's Emmanuel, I believe. You have a question. Please go ahead.
All right. First of all, I would love to say thank you for an amazing presentation. It's resonated with me deeply, and you answered some of the questions I had in my head as you were presenting. But where I would say I'm trying to connect the dots or draw the line is, you said, you constantly said at different times of your presentation that your identity online should also match your identity offline, right? And I would say, where do we draw the line, basically? Where do we draw the line in the sense of finding the right audience in terms of making financial profits and also just doing things that you enjoy? I don't know if you get what I mean.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I do, and you can chip in if I don't. There's someone I see on the call here. She's my friend from Dublin. Her name is Itoro, and I'm just gonna refer to a conversation that we had had. And Itoro, sorry to put you on the spot. I think 2 3 weeks back, or I don't know, a month ago, Itoro baked meat pies and brought it to church. And I had it, and it was the most amazing meat pie that I'd ever had. And then I told her that she should bake a few more and she should make it a business and all of that. And she's just like, I just really love baking. And I thought about it, like, to be fair, for me to, not everything needs to turn into a business, right? Sometimes you're just passionate about something and you just want to do it, right? Um, but then other times you're like, but I love this and I can monetize this. So we had the conversation back and forth, and honestly, I can't remember where we ended up. I think we said we'll make it a business or we will not make it. I can't remember. But it's also understanding, like, one, know where you are part time. A lot of my mentees, I would tell them that the first 5 years of your career, it's your, like, it could be three for you. It depends on how fast you skyrocket. It could be two, it could be three, it could be five. But the beginning, you define the timeline, is literally like a growing phase. You are a sponge. You are soaking in everything. So you know that I would do a lot of pro bono. I would do a lot of free things. I'm just learning. I'm growing. I'm shaping the things that I want to be known for. Maybe the next stage could now be your charging phase, where you're like, I've paid the dues. I've done what I need to do. I've done a lot of pro bono. Now I want to charge for what I am worth. And guess what? When you start charging and people are like, but where are your receipts? How do I know you're this good? You have evidence to show for it, right? So going back to the question, on, like, where do you draw the line between um where do we draw correct me if I'm wrong, where do you draw the line between charging for, like, in your personal brand, charging and not charging? Is this the question? Is this the summary of the
Yes,
question?
yes. That's the summary of the question.
Yeah. So it's just, firstly, intuition. There are some opportunities that that I always say, for me, no matter how little, depends on the scenario, I charge. Why? People would place value on what they pay for, no matter how little. Of course, there are times when you're like, you know what, I know that you value it, and I'm just, it's a pro bono, I would give you for free. But in some rooms, even if I typically want to do it for free, even if it's not money, I would make you do something. I always trade by barter. So what I mean by that is, you know what, I would give you this value, but you would do an assignment. And it's from you doing the assignment and you giving me back that assignment that I gauge your commitment. If I spend 2 hours talking to you and I'm like, okay, so you go back and you do this and this and this, I keep mute. 1 week, 2 weeks, you don't come back to me with what you were supposed to do, I already know that you did not value my time, and I'll never follow up on it. The next time you come, best believe you'll pay for it, right? So it's just one, intuition, know when and when not to, in the sense of the opportunity. Should I delay gratification here? Should I go in all out here? Know the kind of audience that you have as well. If they don't pay for it, would they take me as I'm a flimsy person, or would they still value the thing? You can also say, typically I charge, you can also create that narrative. Typically I charge 100,000 for this, but currently I'm doing a pro bono of an 80% discount and you just need to pay 20,000. Or you can say, currently I'm giving this out to the first 5 people in September. You know that it's not true, and I'm not telling you to lie. I'm just trying to say that, like, you decide how you want to show up. It's just because next time the person knows that this person typically charges for this thing, even if I got it for free, right? Or you know that if this is the value the person places on this thing, but they gave it to me for free. If you say I'll do it for free, they think he's passionate about it. He doesn't care. It comes natural to him. But it's like, oh, this thing actually, this is how much to get it done. But for you, I'll do it for free. You've registered something in their mind that it is actually paid. The next time they want to talk to someone about it, they're like, oh, he charges, but he did it for me for free, but talk to him. They've already set the tone for you, right? So I think 3 things there is: intuition, know the audience, know when, if it's the right time. 2, create the mindset of value in the mind of the person that you are giving this thing to. And 3, just, I don't even know what the third one I said was, but yeah, I'm sure you were listening and you kind of understand. But yeah, know when it's just passion and when you want to charge for it. But yeah, thank you. Does that answer every of your worries, Emmanuel?
Oh, yes, it did. We listed 3, but while I was taking it, I actually have 4. So yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And my handles are on the screen, so if you want us to chat a little bit about it, let me know. Yeah, perfect. Any other questions? Any other questions? And any other questions? Amazing. So I don't see any in the chat box either. Let me just see. Corredy, I dropped that already. Okay, I answered. Perfect. So I think in the absence of any questions, thank you so much for having me. I love the Sweet Family 100%. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for listening to today. And please connect with me on my social media. Someone is unmuted. If you please mute person L and L. Yeah, perfect. So please connect with me on my social media platforms. Please connect with at the marketing professional _ and see you on the streets of value. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye.
Thank you so much, Fumito. I think it was an amazing session. We had everyone who started the session stay till the end, so that shows how engaging and insightful it was. Thank you very much. Okay, so if you missed some part of the session, we're streaming live on YouTube. You can check us out at Success Within International on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, SWI_, SWI_online. Okay, so we also have Fuminto's information on the screen. You can take a screenshot, follow her, reach out to her. I'm sure she'll be open to responding to you. And if she decides to charge you, please pay, because it's worth every penny. I mean, this session was free. So thank you very much, everyone. If you're not on the community, you can send us a DM on Instagram or reach out to any of the excos, and we would, make you a part of the community. You can also leave feedback for us on Luma. Thank you very much, everyone. All right, have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.